Today we're going to do the ultimate trading crypto and buying crypto guide. Today we're going to be using Toobit. They just did a huge deal for the Disco fam. They're teaming up with Discover Crypto. You can deposit and trade to win 10,000 USDT and more. And there's only 20 days left for this. This is ending around Christmas. So new users will receive a 50 USDT bonus after registering. And if you deposit more, you're going to get even more trial funds. And if you trade, you're also going to get even more trial funds, up to 10,000 USDT. And make sure you read the terms and conditions. Now I'm going to leave a link to the Disco fam deposit bonuses, but let's go ahead and set up an account. How do you do this? So if you go to the page, again, make sure you use our link. Up here, you're going to see login. So sign up, login. If you already have an account, go ahead and log in. Otherwise, hit sign up. Now you can sign in with Google, so it's basically immediate. Then the next thing you need to do is deposit assets. So go to assets and then click deposit. And I just deposited $500 to start this journey. Now I had some Solana. So what I ended up doing was I clicked Solana. You're going to use the Solana network, although there is a BSC contract address as well. Copied it. I deposited 3.5 Solana. Ends up being right around $500. After you make that deposit, you'll see it hit your account. Your deposit of 3.5 Solana is now good. And now we're going to use these funds to actually do stuff with crypto. So the first thing you want to do is you do want to trade futures. You're going to need to get Tether. And it'll tell you when you go there, are you a beginner or are you an advanced trader, someone who's done this before? It'll tell you about which type of contracts, so you'll select that. Then next it asks you about leverage. Then it walks you going through it, placing an order. Then it says, do you want to do a long or a short? And then you can view your position. And finally, this tells you how to close it right there. Now, first thing we got to do is trade that Solana for Tether. So you go to trade and then go to spot, and then this will put you in the right direction. Now, on the left side, it will have what asset you want to use. Because I deposited Solana, I got to go to Solana USDT. You deposit Bitcoin or ETH or whatever the different pair might be or the different asset might be. This will give you the trading pair to get into USDT. So we're selecting Solana USDT. Now, you won't see anything there because that's asking me to buy Solana. What we're doing is actually selling Solana. And boom, right there, you can see the 3.5. Now, I could play the market game. I just want to get a trade in. So we're not going to say, oh, well, I think it's bouncing to 143.09. Let me set in a limit and yada, yada. We're not going to do that. We're just going to fat finger market sell 3.5 Solana here. And we're going to move this to 100%. Click sell, filled, immediate, boom. Okay, boom, we're there. All right, and I made $1.81 there. It was $4.95 just a minute ago, and we got a little bit of a green pump there, so we're up to $4.96. Now I'm pulling up the Discord because we have a trading group in there, and we have a Chinese quant that has really been crushing it. Now, I'm a little too late to get this SWE long because it already hit its first take profit. This happened at 10:25 a.m. today. Said, hey, just open long around this level. Had this is a low risk and a medium risk long, and it looks like the take profit on one of the trades did hit the first take profit. But when you go to SWE, you can see it actually has pulled back here a little bit. Let me tell you the levels. Let me tell you the levels here because it actually hit everything. So it was saying open it at 168. And the first take profit was 170. So it said open at 168, take profit 170. This is 168. It hit the take profit. Actually is now down a little bit. So I'm actually going to go ahead and just open in a long, especially after a fat red candle right there. Oh, it's going down even lower. Let's go ahead and open a trade. So they were saying SWE. So let's go to make sure we're on futures, USDT. And we're looking for SWE. SWE's right there. SWE, and we could trade from cross or isolated. I prefer isolated. And this is where you go to open your trade. But first, you got to get the USDT in your trading account because right now it's in your spot account. So go back to your assets, and up top you'll see transfer. So we're moving from the spot to the futures account, and we're just doing all of it. So boom, hit confirm. Safely transferred. We're good to go to start opening trades. Brought us back to the SWE page right here, the SWE order book. And we're just going to do 15x. So, it does have levels in the Discord. You can see it right here. It was saying, let's go ahead and we're at 16x. I must have remembered subconsciously. And we're going to go in and we're just going to put in a third of the account. And we're just going to buy long. I'm guessing this is going to give us a little downside protection. If we had like a really big over, it would make sure it doesn't just like clear order book, give you a really low entry. We're only going in with a small amount, so it wouldn't matter too much for this trade. But if you have big amounts, that button really does matter. And all right, we're in profit. We're in profit already. But I would like to go ahead and get a lower entry just in case it wicks below this liquidity level. So this is how you open a limit order. So say you didn't want to just fat finger market long, come in and say, all right, maybe 163, 40, 44, somewhere around there. We go to limit, change this, 349. And then at that point, we'll deploy half of the remaining capital. And so we have another order right there, folks. And you know what? You might want to move that up a little bit as well. So you can play with it. I always like exchanges when they do let you move this manually without having to like delete it and retype it. And there you're good to go. So now we got our new entry loaded up. Now, again, getting the trade from the Discord. Make sure you're joining the Discord. I'll have a link for Toobit's Discover Crypto bonus. I'll have a link for the Discord down below as well. Make sure you're checking that out if you are going to be opening these trades. If you don't have as much experience, use other people's knowledge. This guy's really been nailing the calls. The month of December, he crushed it. And so far in December, he's also doing a great job. Now, one important thing I do want to tell you before we end here, make sure you get your rewards. Go to the rewards hub up top, and you'll see that you're qualifying and you're completing these things. So go ahead and, maybe see some things you could check out, earn some rewards, 10 USDT here and there and more, and 5. They also have weekly tasks as well. So go pick up that free cash on the table, get that free USDT, add it to your trading journey. That way, give yourself a little bit of room, a little bit of wiggle room in case you get in some overly risky trades. And you can see right there, reward will be issued after holding for 1 day. I'm DZ for Discover Crypto, and I'll see you with our trading quant at the top.